By the end of October 1943, there were 807 children known as the Tehran Children. Most of them were taken to Palestine via Karachi, Pakistan, up to the Red Sea, to the Suez Canal, and then to Palestine. After the war, a fortunate few were reunited with their parents, who survived in Europe. At the eastern end of the Mediterranean, Turkey was the logical escape route to Palestine for Jews fleeing Central Europe and the Balkans. However, it wasn't so easy to pass through Turkey. You see, the government tried to remain neutral, and throughout the war, the government played the Allies and the Axis powers against each other. There was the Treaty of Friendship with Russia in 1935, a peace treaty with Britain in 1939, and another one with Germany in 1941. And Turkey followed a contradictory policy towards Jews. Sometimes, Turkey allowed refugees to travel through Turkey to Palestine. Sometimes, there were restrictions. Basically, Turkey was really hurting after World War I, so entering World War II was not an option, and the Jews and other minorities were made to suffer. In 1942, the government instituted the wealth tax, or valik vergisi, wiping out the Turkish Jewish economy, with up to 179% tax for Jews. Failure to pay within the month led to deportation to a forced labour camp. This heavy tax seemed to question the Jews' alliance and citizenship. Although the community had been there for over a millennium, deportations from Istanbul to eastern Turkey began in January 1943. Then, by Rosh Hashanah, they were separating out the sick and those aged over 60 to fend for themselves. But in December of that same year, Turkey was to meet with the Allies. So, they disbanded the camp right before and rescinded the law in March 1944. And what about the money and property of businesses they lost during that period? They were never given back. Even though the Holocaust proper did not reach North Africa and the Middle East, its reverberations were felt across the region. The Holocaust may have been restricted to Europe, but World War II had a significant effect on the Jews of MENA.